From one leader that was supposed to be a madman and unhinged and deranged, but turns out lucid, to a leader that's supposed to be lucid and put together and the rational choice that can't walk upstairs, can't complete sentences, and apparently can't be convicted for crimes that he commits.
And poops his pants.
And poopies his pants.
Yeah. I don't know who the genius handler is in the White House that decided to hold a press conference with Biden the same night.
It's almost like it was planned.
As the Putin interview. But it was one of the most catastrophic news conferences or press conferences I've ever seen. Just because the juxtaposition between those two was disheartening, to say the least, if you're
Stark.
an American citizen. To realize the quality of your leadership versus the country that your leadership is trying to actively start a hot war with, it doesn't inspire confidence in your side of the ledger. So basically what happened was the special counsel Robert Hur issued his 388-page report finishing his investigation on, you might remember a few months back, where Biden was caught with classified documents, just like Trump.
Did they have to raid his safe?
Sitting in his convertible Corvette in his unlocked garage.
Safe as houses.
Safest place ever he could have put it. In addition to other places, he had some in his office at the Delaware campus.
He had one stuck to his shoe.
Can't keep track of this old bastard. So, anyway.
He gets in places.
Hur's report, and we're going to read just a couple snippets just to give you a flavor of it, because obviously we're not going over 388 pages. But Hur's report, basically in a nutshell, says, yeah, he did all the shit we thought he did. These were not only felonies, these were breaches of national security. But we're not going to prosecute him because he's a well-meaning grandpa who would probably be sympathetic to a jury. And so prosecuting him would be very difficult. Oh, and he also forgets pretty much everything. And so it would be difficult to prosecute him because basically every question you're going to ask him, even if he testifies, is going to be like, I don't know, I don't remember. So, moral of the story is, because as we all know, America the Great is a nation of, by, and for the people, and it is where no man is above the law. So the president is held to the same standard as you, citizen, because after all, he works for you. And because he's held to that same standard, I think that if you can just hold off on whatever crime spree it is you want to do until you get to an advanced age, or maybe it doesn't even take an advanced age. Just go run your head into a wall, give yourself some brain damage, and then go commit whatever crime you want. And they're just going to be like, yeah, he racked up 10 felonies last Tuesday, but he can't remember anything, so what the hell's the use even prosecuting him?
You know what I remember?
That's the lesson I'm taking away from this whole thing.
You know what I remember, Dan?
What do you remember?
Aside from the juxtaposition of the Trump having Mar-a-Lago raided, and they found 100 pieces of evidence against him. And then it dwindled down to 30. And then it finally whittled down to 10 pieces of information that he shouldn't have had. And it was the utmost of a security breach, nay, national security breach.
He was selling nuclear secrets to the Chinese or whatever.
And they were all in a tizzy, and then that turned into nothing.
So, about what he did, quote, our investigation uncovered evidence that President Biden willfully retained and disclosed classified materials after his vice presidency when he was a private citizen. These materials included 1. Marked classified documents about military and foreign policy in Afghanistan, and 2. Notebooks containing Mr. Biden's handwritten entries about issues of national security and foreign policy implicating sensitive intelligence sources and methods. FBI agents recovered these materials from the garage, offices, and basement den in Mr. Biden's Wilmington, Delaware home. And on that note about where they found it, garage, offices, and basement, I want to, going back to the Putin segment where we were, kind of talking about how think what you want about him, at least what he says on the surface is what it is. And to at least hear what he has to say doesn't require you to suspend your belief in reality. Whereas you can't say that on this side of the pond. I have a statement from, I'll have to find it here in a second. I had a statement from somebody about how great it was that, here it is. This is a quote from Richard Sauber, which is the White House special counsel. Now again, just reminding you, this stuff was recovered in his garage, offices, and basement den. Okay. And on that, Sauber has this to say about Biden and why he shouldn't be prosecuted. Quote, "The simple truth is President Biden takes classified information seriously and strives to protect it. He has spent decades at the highest levels of government defending and advancing America's national security and foreign policy interests and protecting her secrets." And he called Biden's cooperation with the probe, quote, "extraordinary." Now again, if you gouge out your eyeballs and make yourself go deaf and, keep hitting yourself in the head with a baseball bat until you get down to Biden's IQ level, maybe you might be able to suspend your belief in all reality and agree that Sauber has really said something truthful and honest to you about Biden and how he conducts himself in his high positions of power. All I'm saying is that when your own people allegedly are telling you to believe things like that and suspend all pretenses about reality to do so, those people don't have your best interests in mind. And the last little snippet from the report, and then we'll close out, is this one talking about the reason why they're not going to prosecute. And this is almost even more damning than the fact that he willfully held secret documents and then kept them in an unsecure location. Is, quote, "We have also considered that at trial, Mr. Biden would likely present himself to a jury, as he did during our interview of him, as a sympathetic, well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory. Based on our direct interactions with and observations of him, he is someone for whom many jurors will want to identify reasonable doubt. It would be difficult to convince a jury that they should convict him. By then, a former president well into his 80s of a serious felony that requires a mental state of willfulness." So Joe is so not with it. The leader of the free world, allegedly, the most powerful person on the planet, is so not with it that he can't even stand a criminal trial for something he clearly and obviously did, willfully so, but he's calling all the shots in D.C.
He's got the nuclear football.
And he's doing a great job, and all of America's alleged recovery from COVID is all thanks to him, and, sunlight shines from his ass. Again, double standards. These people don't care about you. It is them and the rest of us. It's a small group, and we ain't in it. So do with that information what you will. Just don't believe it, whatever it is.
I don't have an olive branch anymore. We've given too many olive branches. I'm usually the happy-go-lucky one on this podcast, being like, hey, let's hear them out. They're probably doing something. But it's official now. It's official. There are officially rules for them and rules for us. And us is a very interesting thing, because the people that don't see, the people that, as you alluded to with Putin, and some of us have to deny reality and deny our own perceptions of what we see with Mr. President Biden. you guys don't care anymore. And you guys think you're on that team. You think you're on Team Biden. You think you're on Team Pelosi, Schumer, whatever. You think that your side does all the right things and the other side is just intolerable Nazis, is what you usually call them, or MAGA, or super neocon, whatever the hell, whatever trumped up name you have for them this week. But it's official now. You guys are not seeing reality anymore, and you're not interested in seeing it. If you're okay with this, if you're okay with him running again, and if you still think it's okay to vote for him again, then you're lying to yourself. And all that reminiscing and all that wailing and gnashing of teeth that people that vote for Trump are going to be the reason that this country dies. It's not. It's you. You're the reason this country dies. Because you're blindly led down the primrose path, and you take your medicine and you go to bed. You want Big Daddy to be there to help you. You want Mr. F-15s to say to Texas, you better take down that barbed wire. Like, you want that because you need it. You need somebody to take care of you. But the reality is, like you said, it's Stockholm Syndrome. This isn't them taking care of you. This is them taking for them and leaving you. You think you're going to be on the... Okay, put it this way. If anyone has seen Don't Look Up, you think you're going to be on one of those rocket ships? You purple-haired LGBTQ protester, you think you're going to be on those rocket ships with Pelosi, Schumer, Biden, Hunter, and all of his meth and pistols and hookers? You think you're going to be on there with them? Lemmings don't go on rockets. Lemmings stay.